Never trust a shoe that disappears quietly. Because when mule heels walk into a room, you hear them before you fully see them. That sharp click, that pause between steps, that moment where everyone looks up without even knowing why. And here's the crazy part, mule heels have been doing this for decades, yet somehow they never feel old. Trends come and go, but mule heels stay right where they are. Calm, confident, untouched by time. Most fashion trends age badly. Mule heels don't. And there's a reason for that. Let's talk about why mule heels will never go out of style, and why that exposed heel keeps winning every single time. People think fashion is about new designs. It's not. Fashion is about feelings. And mule heels hit feelings most shoes can't even touch. Here's the thing nobody says out loud. Mule heels look unfinished on purpose. And that's exactly why they work. When you first see mule heels, something feels different. The foot is dressed, polished, clean, but the heel is bare. There's no strap holding it down. No buckle, no safety net. It almost looks like the shoe could slip off at any second. And that tiny bit of risk changes everything. That exposed heel creates tension. And tension is what keeps eyes locked in. Covered shoes feel safe, predictable. You know exactly what you're getting. Mule heels don't give you that comfort. They sit right between control and freedom. And people are naturally drawn to things that live in that space. Let's be honest. A woman walking in mule heels looks like she's choosing confidence over comfort. Not because mule heels are painful, many are actually very comfortable, but because they look like a bold choice. They say, I'm aware, I'm present, I'm steady enough to wear this without fear. And that message never gets old. That exposed heel has been around since ancient times. Different cultures used open-back shoes long before modern fashion even existed. Why? Because they were practical. Yes, but also because they showed status. You weren't rushing. You weren't working in the dirt. You moved carefully. You moved with intention. Fast forward to today, and the meaning hasn't changed much. Mule heels still suggest control, still suggest calm, still suggest someone who knows where they're going. Now let's talk about the sound, because this part matters more than people think. The sound of mule heels while walking is different from regular heels. There's a sharper click, a clearer echo. Every step sounds intentional. You hear heel, pause, heel, pause. That pause is powerful. With strapped heels, the foot moves as one unit. The sound blends together. With mule heels, there's a slight delay. The foot lifts, the heel taps, the shoe settles. It creates rhythm, almost like a beat you can follow without realizing it. Humans respond to rhythm. It's wired into us. That's why music moves people. And mule heels turn walking into a quiet rhythm that pulls attention without shouting. You don't hear mule heels rushing. You hear them arriving. That sound also creates presence. Even if you're not looking directly, your brain registers movement. Someone is here. Someone is coming. Someone is passing by. And because mule heels aren't everywhere like sneakers or flats, the sound feels special, rare, noticeable. Now combine that sound with the exposed heel, and you get something interesting. You're hearing confidence, but you're also seeing vulnerability. That mix is dangerous in the best way. Elegance alone can feel cold. Vulnerability alone can feel weak. Mule heels sit right in the middle. They look elegant, but not guarded. Strong, but not stiff. Stylish, but not aggressive. When someone wears mule heels, it feels like they're saying, I trust myself enough to not lock everything down. That's powerful energy. Think about it. A strapped shoe is prepared for everything. Tight, secure, locked in. Mule heels leave room for movement, for softness, for mistakes. And yet, the person wearing them walks anyway. That's confidence. But here's where it gets even deeper. Mule heels don't scream for attention. They don't try to dominate the room. They don't need wild designs or crazy colors to be noticed. They rely on mystery. You never fully forget about the exposed heel. Even when the person is standing still, your eyes drift back to it. There's a question there. Will the shoe slip? Will the step stay smooth? Will the heel lift perfectly again? That small question keeps your attention longer than loud fashion ever could. Mystery lasts. Loud trends burn out fast. That's why mule heels don't age. Because mystery doesn't age. Now let's talk about confidence versus mystery. Because this is where mule heels truly win. Some shoes are all confidence. Bold platforms, heavy boots, sharp stilettos with straps everywhere. They tell you exactly what they are. There's no guessing. Mule heels don't explain themselves. They don't announce rules. They let the viewer decide what they feel. And when fashion lets people feel instead of telling them what to think, it stays relevant. Mule heels also adapt without changing their soul. One decade they're minimal. Another decade, they're dramatic. Sometimes pointed. Sometimes square. Sometimes thin heels. Sometimes chunky. But the exposed heel stays. That's the core. That's the signature. That's the part that refuses to leave. Trends can change colors, shapes, heights. But when a design element connects directly to emotion, it becomes timeless. And mule heels connect to something very human, the balance between control and freedom. Another reason mule heels survive every fashion cycle is how they make people slow down. You can't stomp in mule heels. You can't rush without thinking. You become aware of your steps, your posture, your pace. In a world that moves fast, anything that forces presence becomes valuable. That's why people keep returning to mule heels. They ground the wearer. They demand attention without begging for it. And here's something most people miss. Mule heels don't try to please everyone. Some people don't like them. Some people say they're risky. Some people say they're impractical. And that's exactly why they last. Anything that tries to please everyone becomes boring. Mule heels accept division. They're not here to convince you. They're here to exist confidently, whether you approve or not. That attitude is magnetic. You also see mule heels across ages. Young women wear them. Older women wear them. Fashion icons wear them. Everyday people wear them. Why? Because mule heels don't belong to one phase of life. They don't scream youth or maturity. They simply exist as a choice. And choice is timeless. Let's be honest, mule heels also invite imagination. When the heel is exposed, the foot becomes part of the design. Skin meets shoe in a way that feels personal. It's not fully covered. It's not fully bare. It's right in between. That in-between space keeps people watching longer. And fashion that holds attention always survives. Now think about how mule heels work with outfits. Dresses, jeans, office wear, casual looks, evening looks. They adapt without losing identity. That's rare. Most shoes demand the outfit bend around them. Mule heels slide into different looks without forcing control. They add elegance without stealing the show. That balance is why designers never let them go. Every time fashion tries to move on, mule heels quietly stay in the background waiting. And when people get tired of extremes, they come back. Because mule heels feel human. They're not perfect. They don't promise safety. They don't guarantee comfort. They promise awareness. And that's more interesting. And let's not ignore the psychological side. Seeing someone confidently walk in mule heels triggers respect. Not because of beauty alone, but because it looks like trust in self. And trust never goes out of style. So, when you ask why mule heels will never disappear, the answer isn't fabric, shape, or trend cycles. It's because mule heels tell a story with every step. A story of exposed heels, of controlled movement, of sound that announces presence, of elegance mixed with vulnerability, of confidence that doesn't need to explain itself, of mystery that stays longer than noise. That story keeps working, generation after generation. And as long as humans are drawn to confidence wrapped in quiet tension, mule heels will keep walking forward unbothered, unchanged, and unforgettable. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up